Hello everyone, hello. That's right here with potentially our final stream of Final Fantasy XIV. I say potentially because technical difficulties might occur. But here we are, before what I believe is the final walk. Alright, so first thing we're gonna do, as usual, we're gonna pick a new path. Wind up cane, okay. So, the thing about this is we arrived in Ultima Thule upon the Ragnarok, where we discovered Medion already waiting for us, and she basically told us that Dynamis rules here. We emotion and everything takes precedent here. She choked the life out of us, and Thancred gave his life and paved the path forward for us, basically by giving himself up to Dynamis. Providing air and a location for us to walk on. As we explored, we discovered that these were the ruins of a dead civilization. The dragons, to be specific. The ones that Midgard Summer fled from his star when he left and came to Eorzea, or Etheris. This is his race that was left behind. They were killed by a metal race from the sky, essentially. In order to provide a path forward, though, Ascenian had to give his life to bring winds to carry us from island to island, where we met a race called the Ia? Anyway, they were a race that wanted to get rid of sorrow and everything wrong with their race, so they ended up making an incorporeal form. But they wanted to go backwards to become a human, to get corporeal bodies again, so they asked us a bunch of questions. The reason they wanted to come back to corporeal forms was so they could die. Again, this is another dead race. These are just memories of them. They were killed by the Reapers, kind of. The Ia, however, they wanted death because they did everything through science. And through science, they determined the heat death of the universe was inevitable, and thus everything was meaningless, so fuck everything. Let's just die. That was their reasoning as a collective race. Ishtola and Urianger were having none of this, though, because they were trying to convince you that ignorance is bliss and you should just live like that, and Ishtola's like, nah, fuck all that. Which led us forward to the final area, which was of a metal race from the sky who had conquered the dragons. That's right, the Omicron. That's these guys right here, these metal dudes here. These guys are the creators of Omega, if you guys remember Omega from earlier in the story. They were weak. They were a weak race that use cybernetics to enhance themselves and conquer other races. And they got so strong they conquered everything on their planet. But then they were like, well, shit, we don't want to be conquered ever again, so let's go out into the stars and conquer everyone else. And that's what they spent doing. But then they realized, well, shit, what if we're the strongest in the universe now? What do we do then? Okay, let's just stand here until we're dead. Yeah. And now, Grahatia gave him his life to provide a path for us to move forward, leaving us with just Alphinaud, Alisaie, and ourselves. Look, Miro, a portal has opened. It will surely deliver us, true. It must. And as we've gone on, the music has shifted from just quiet to instrumental, and now we got the full song. Look up, Nero. It's so the stars are being devoured by the dead sun. And that's where we're headed, into the maw of darkness. Well, here's the path that begins, and it ascends to dizzying heights. Let us make our way, one sure step at a time. Our friends got us this far. Their courage, their strength, their wisdom, their love. We owe it to them to continue, no matter how long it takes. Alphinaud and Alisaie and Arcadit. Okay, yeah. You gotta give us this mechanic one last time, I guess. You know, Graha, you could have made a, what looks to be less slippery path to walk on. That would have been nice. Tancred would scout the road ahead. Ishtola and Yurianche would trade opinions on esoteric subjects. Graha would join in the discussion, or else chat with me and Alisaie about the mission. Estinian would be at the rear, apart yet present. All the while, you would come and go, wherever you were needed, and together we would travel. All I can hear are my footfalls, my heartbeat. It's so much quieter now. But the fact we can breathe and continue on is proof that the others are still with us. They are, aren't they? He was hoping Alphinaud might slip and fall to his death. I don't think so. The portal's barely visible from up here. Truly, we've come far. Much farther than would have been possible had we kept chasing perfect ideals as we did in the past. It is because we have known failure and frustration, that we've learned and grown from them, that Heidelin has entrusted us with this mission, with the fate of the very star. It's all a dream, isn't it? A long, elaborate dream. Any moment now, I'll wake up in my bed. Still a sin, grandfather alive. I'd go about my day relieved as the fragments of that other life fade away. And that would be happiness, wouldn't it? But none of it... No. I won't give up these experiences. Good and bad, they are mine. They are me. Rest assured, I am fine, but thank you for your concern. What of yourself? Though we can't afford to be too leisurely, neither need we rush unduly. We've crossed an impossible distance to stand where we are now, and we're but a few steps away from journey's end. It'll be over before we know it. Me? Oh, I still have plenty of legs left in me. Don't you worry. It's you I'm worried about. You always push yourself so hard for us, for everyone, and while we're here, we'll make sure to bear our share of the burden. Except, the one who should be holding the burden for is now arrived. Hello, Carbuncle. Carbuncle should be here for this final walk. Well, this is it. The end of the path and the beginning of whatever awaits. There will be greater hardships. We may be made to feel powerless. Yet come what may, let us have no regrets. No, let us have pride in what we have achieved. In what we achieved and how it changed us for the better. That's worth fighting for and dying for, as they did. There are some structures up ahead. Still a ways to go before we reach the dead sun. Given all this, I know how naive it must sound to hope it all works out in the end somehow. Still, you'll forgive me if I wish for all the same. And for you most of all. Not that you of all people need it, it's just, after all the help you've given me, for once I want to be the one to help you. Did we achieve cheeseburger? We did actually. Graha Tia loved it. This is almost Normal? It's not like unlike many cities we know, but it's definitely quiet. Mayhap the entire inhabitants are within the buildings, or invisible to our senses. Wrong on both accounts. There is simply no one here. Medion! This is how I found it when I arrived. Another star which once pulsed with life, but no longer. How it ended, I do not know. Invasion, sickness, suicide, none can say. None live to speak for the dead. They are gone. Gone. Search all you like, but you'll find only end up turning back. Who do you think will win a fist fight, Medion or Alphinaud? I think Medion. If what Medion says is true, what are we supposed to do? If there's no one here, then neither should there be emotion to bar our way. Yet Medion seems convinced we'll turn back. What riddle is this? One way or another, we must find the way to forward. Let us make a thorough search of the city. You think you've caught me? This form is barely a drop from the ocean that swells within the dead sun. Even so, I could easily unmake you. You are only still alive because of your comrades, but they cannot protect you forever. Until they fade away, I'll satisfy myself with watching you try, and fail, to find a way out of this lifeless place. You're not alone. Whatever Medion may have said, we should confirm it with our own eyes. We need to have a look around. Indeed, at the very least, it doesn't appear to be a sprawling place like those we've before. If we split up, it shouldn't be too long to cover the area. There doesn't seem to be anyone here. Perhaps you should try calling out. Hello? The navvy call. Hello? If anyone has heard you, they do not respond. I like that this place is called a necropolis. This tree-like object. The object resembles a tree and appears to have been fashioned from a stone-like material. Erected in place of an actual tree, or to serve some other purpose, perhaps. Regardless, there is no one left to explain, to tell the story. Were it not for the thick layer of dust, one could imagine someone drinking from these cups but moments ago. Top of the morning, Governor. This place seems reminiscent of a bar, but neither patrons nor staff are anywhere to be seen. Egg-shaped containers line the shelves, with a loose fuse sitting on the counter. Vessels for the beverages, in all likelihood. A venue bustling with activity until it was not. I suspect we have one over there, but maybe not. In the distance, you glimpse Alisaie picking her way through the ruins, but otherwise spy no signs of life. If anyone can hear me, say something! Not you, Minicat. Although, hi, Minicat. Your call echoes faintly before being swallowed by the silence. That was cute. So the small bitch fell off. Maybe. I don't actually see him anywhere. Though set slightly off the ground, this appears to be a door, while the objects to the left could be letterboxes. The door is rusted shut, and the film of dust all over suggests no one has come through in a long, long time. Miro, take a look at this. If the road was a little longer, we could make it just beneath the dead sun. But I suppose this is where the reconstruction ends. How about you? Did you find anything of interest? I see. I noticed the same things. Cups left on tables, chairs out of place. I don't know what happened here, but I do know I don't want to be alone anymore. We've searched enough for now. Let's find Alphinaud and compare what we've learned. The film of dust suggests no one has come in a long time. I mean, yeah. Both statements are probably quite true. The weather here is astromagnetic storms. Just actually kind of a sick weather. Alphinaud, why the fuck are you way down here, bud? Why can't you be closer to the center of town?
Did you find anything?
No. This place is completely deserted. And I can't see how we're supposed to move on from here.
Neither can I. It's quite the quandary. There are no denizens to bar our path, yet there is no way forward.
For another mystery, we did find signs of very recent life. You'd swear everyone just vanished into thin air. I wonder how many ruined worlds like this has Meteion seen.
Ah. Could it be? Yes. Yes, I believe I may have puzzled this out. Despite how it appears, it's no different this time. There is someone here who has wished for this ruin. And I believe that together, Alisaie and I can overcome their will.
No, I won't allow it. I promised your parents I'd keep you safe. Stop, not another word.
I know. I know. But if there is a chance this will work, then I would take it. For everyone, and for myself. I will not pretend otherwise. I have my fears. Not for myself, but for you, the last to remain. You are no stranger to carrying the burden of others. But I can only imagine how heavy the weight would be this time. As your friend, I cannot bear the thought of making you suffer so.
Then why suggest such a thing? It's too much to ask of anyone, even her. Why must she be the one? Why must she fight alone? More than a hero, she's a dear friend. not only to us, but to so many others. There are so many people in the world who care for you, and yet... And yet...
Alisaie, I have an idea. Given the nature of this realm, it may be possible to do more than unbar our friend's path. We might also pave her a new one. For instance, a path where she finds happiness at journey's end. This much, I think we can believe with the utmost conviction, no matter how deep our despair. So please, believe in us too, and press on. Thank you. What are you?
If the plan's decided, then let's not dally.
Ah, there you are. It was as I said, was it not?
It was. We couldn't find anyone. But this place isn't entirely deserted, is it? You are here. You sought out a star of promise and found a ruined husk. Like us, you explored the devastation. Like us, you were stricken. Horrified by the thought that so many lives could be snuffed out as if they were worth nothing. And the thought that you would have to bear the terrible tidings to Hermes. That which you saw and felt, you shared with your sisters, as did they share their own grim findings with you. Overcome by the pervasive despair of these stars, some of you inadvertently ushered their peoples to their ends. Knowing the horrors you know, anyone would feel the same. They would fear what lies ahead and struggle to move forward.
Fear. I had forgotten that such a thing existed. So focused have I been on shepherding despair.
If you can remember, then you can still face and overcome your own fear.
Why would I bother with such an insignificant emotion? If the despair I command is as a raging river, then fear is but a trickling stream. It can do nothing to alter my flow. You spoke with the Aya, yes? Heard their tale of what awaits the universe. It's true. The stars grow colder and more distant. Eventually, all will enjoy frozen solitude. Using the power of Dynamis, I'm hastening that process. In so doing, nothing will be born ever again. Everyone will remain dead. Alas, it will take time for that to happen. So in mercy, I sent you my gift, to spare you needless suffering. Don't worry. Even if no living witnesses remain to mark the event, I'll make certain that Atheris has a proper end.
For all the power you wield, you're more fearful than the familiar you used to be. That Meteion feared simply to move forward, but your fear is such that you've given up on everything. I know it well, that sense of defeat. I've tasted my fair share of it. But as many times as we've fallen down, we've learned how to pick ourselves up and carry on. We take each other's hand, share in each other's courage, follow in each other's footsteps, and turn sorrow into strength.
There are times when we fail. We bear wounds that do not heal. But these experiences are part of life, and they make us stronger. We rise, fall, and rise again.
Don't worry about us. You must take the next step, and all the rest after that.
Earlier, in Old Jalian.
Please, please. Oh, please let them all be safe. Cryle? Are you all right?
It's nothing. Just a headache. They'll be fine. I know they will.
Apologies for the interruption. A man arrived on the last ferry, an associate of the Scions. He wishes to speak with you at once.
In the city devoid of life, you sense the presence of another. The sorrow of 1,000 worlds weighs heavy, and yet you can walk on. Before we do walk on, though, we're gonna take a quick break. Don't go anywhere.